Hey, welcome back to the show. We're rocking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rocking your socks off.
rocking your socks off here on
Yeah.
the FreeKing After
Hey,
Dark show.
yeah, I know. It's great to be here.
Episode 8, man. Episode 8. We've been going a long time, dude.
Right.
We've
Hey,
been
hey,
killing it.
I know we have. Hey, Twitlicker, did you hear the new theme song that I wrote?
No,
All right, hold on. I'll play it.
it's knee scab.
So, anyways, how was everybody's week?
Eventful.
Yeah,
Eventful. Niescab's wife overwatered his pot plant.
yeah, that's
Damn near killed the damn
bad
thing. I don't
news.
know if it's going to make it back or not. It's going to
It'll
take an
take
awful
2
lot of
weeks.
sunlight.
I gotta dry it out for 2 goddamn weeks.
It's stressed now, man. It's stressed out, dude. That
That's
ain't no
not
good.
good.
No, it's not good at all. Definitely
No,
not good. Huh.
no,
Kidding me.
that's I don't know. I think that should be like a you have to do some nice things kind of, you know, mistake.
Right?
You know, I don't know. Why'd you
I don't
fucking
know,
say
man.
it?
That's almost divorceable where I come from.
You know, I know. I,
I could almost divorce for that.
I got to address something. When we used to do our old podcast, I talked and I everything off the hilt. But now that we're videoing it, I'm like stage fright sometimes.
Stage fright? Really?
Yeah. Like it's like,
Really?
yeah, it's weird. It's like when we just did our voices, I didn't give a fuck. I said this and that. But now that there's a face behind, you know, the voice, it's like I mute myself.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's
I don't know. You
hard to
did it.
explain.
We did an awful lot of talking last week when we had Pedro
Yeah.
on. The week
Mm.
before last, we didn't do a show last week, but the week before, I mean, we did some talking.
Yeah,
That
we
was an
did. But
eventful
it's
show.
just different. I think it takes.
I got some little punk thieves around here, and they're stealing my plants. So I'm not gonna have a crop this year.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole punks and stealing his
Wow.
weed.
Where'd you go, buddy? Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
Oh, I was concerned, but that's a shame. My biggest thing is I can't get seeds anywhere. Well, I can.
They're
But the
not
fuck,
even ready. I mean, they're
yeah,
not ready. Why would
yeah,
they steal them? They're not ready.
yeah. You can't smoke it if it ain't ready.
Well, they
Yeah.
smoking it. Them kids, them punks are smoking it.
Oh, they used to. Kids, remember when the kids used to smoke the fucking the
Oh, and
patches?
I can't grow it on the roof because the wall is right behind me, and they can jump right on the wall and jump right onto the roof,
Have
Todd.
you ever have you ever seen Roger Waters there? No,
No,
at the wall.
Who?
You never seen
at the
Roger
wall,
Waters?
brick in the wall. There's another brick in the wall. Roger
No, there's a
Waters.
yeah, okay. Well, there's a wall back there on the side of the house, on the side of the garage, and they can just jump right on the wall and jump right over to the roof. So there's
Yeah.
no, I can't put it in the on the roof.
Uh, well,
I've
that
come to that
sucks.
conclusion. Yeah,
Why don't you build a little grow house like a you know greenhouse in your backyard?
because
That
they'll
Put a
lot.
break
lock
into
on it.
that too. They'll break right into that too.
Um,
Yeah.
well, it'll give it some protection where it doesn't just boom, snatch and grab and go. You got to give it a little
No, I
effort at
told him, I
least.
said, you need to sit out there all night with a shotgun with rock salt in it and shoot his ass.
Rock salt.
And booby traps are illegal.
Booby traps are illegal. Yes, they
Yeah,
are. You could go
they
to
are.
prison for that shit.
Well, they really. I guess they should be because fuck, I just stepped in a big. I mean, I understand protecting the
Well,
property
you know,
stuff.
if you could rig it, to where they had one of those dye
Nets,
packs that they put
right?
inside a fucking bank. They put it inside those
The
inside the
bank bag.
bags, the
Yeah,
money bags, and they
right.
put those fucking. You could rig it to where when he pulled the plant out, he pulled the pin on that and get sprayed with pink fucking
Right.
dust.
I guess
And
if it
pink.
was a non-lethal booby trap, like fuck, if you had a bear trap set up out there and some poor bastard stepped in it, all right, that's going a little overboard.
Yeah, that's it. And then
You
leave it in
know,
there to die. That's even
right.
worse.
I mean, it's just, I guess there's a thin line between, if you did a booby trap, like what is that thing that they call it, where like the ball, you kick the ball and it goes down the thing and then it hits the domino and the domino makes the bowling ball shoot out. I forgot what they call that, but it's like to do the most useless thing, this big grand scale of a, come on, you guys got to know.
It's a it's like mousetrap.
Right. But
Yeah,
all it did was just to push the button, and it went through like 72 things just to push the button. You could set
right.
up a booby trap like that where it would drop like a net on you or pick you up in the net like they do in the in the jungle movies, where it just,
Well, another thing is if they pull it out and whatever
that's what
I
she
could
said.
spray on it would spray on it and just ruin the fucking thing. You couldn't smoke it after it's been sprayed.
Right,
And
exactly. Well, what's the point of taking it if it's no good to smoke?
right,
But yeah,
You say,
put
well,
some
I won't do
Lysol
that
in that
again.
motherfucker. Put some Lysol
Yeah.
in that bitch. They won't.
my
Yeah.
friend told me to piss on them.
Well, there's a thought. You could piss on them, make them smell like pee.
Speaking of piss, this is true. When my cousin got when we were kids, he got skunk scented, sprayed by a skunk, and my fucking dad and his other cousin told their younger brother that you had to piss on him to get rid of the smell, and this motherfucker pissed on my cousin that just got sprayed by a skunk.
Did it work?
I don't fucking know, but he smelled like.
Oh, it takes
pissy,
weeks to get rid of that scent.
Oh, I know.
It
Dude,
takes
Tomato
ages.
juice.
I was coming back from work one day and I had a Doberman pincher and I had her in my truck and I opened, she seen something. She was howling and barking in the truck going, what the fuck? I'm going, what the fuck? So I opened the door and I let her out. Pew! Shot, fucking sprayed by the goddamn skunk, man.
Oh,
I mean,
man. It
so
sprayed him, the dog, or
I
you?
said, all right, and then I let her go and I went to work the next day and she was, at the next day after work, her tongue was all swollen and I didn't, so I ran right down to the fucking store and got some tomato juice.
Tomatoes, yeah.
Couple of cans of good old tomato juice, and I poured it all over her and washed her with it, and the smell finally went away. But she was getting ready to die. I left her all fucking night and all day with that stench on her. I just didn't know what to do.
Did you just say wash?
Yeah, he said worse.
That's not a real word,
Worse?
There's no R in wash.
He had to wash the car, man.
Yeah, but there's no
That's a
R.
St. Louis thing, man. That's the
Yeah.
same. It's just like farty far.
I
Highway
don't know
farty
what the
far
fuck that means.
and
Well,
farty.
it's Western slang.
It's
Well,
farty.
here in Buffalo, we
farty.
don't say INGs here, so it's not wedding, it's wedding.
Yeah, it's wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cross between Canadian and New York.
Right. Yeah, but we are
Yeah.
a cross between Canada and New York, really,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
It's
I'm
all-
closer. I can walk to Canada. I'd have to drive 8 hours to New York City,
Right.
So it's like, I heard you want to come out this way.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe going to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, but you can only probably go to the American side, right?
Yeah. No, you can't
Yeah.
go to the Canadian side.
Yeah, which
I don't know
sucks
if
because the
it'll be worth-
Canadian side is 1,000 times better. I don't know why it is, but it really is. But on the American side, there's a really cool casino down there. So
Right. Well, I'm not big on casinos. I just want to go for the view and stand up there over the falls and watch
Yeah.
that power. It's so powerful. I've never
But
been
you
there
should
before.
check out the casino anyways, like see what they got on the website, because like I seen Cinderella there. I've seen I've seen the singer from Cinderella there. I've seen I can't remember everybody's, but there was a few band. I saw my mom saw Kenny Rogers there. I saw Kiss
Right.
there. Kiss played in the parking lot there. So the Black Crows were there. I mean, they're always got something going on there. So if you want to check out a show, you know.
Cool.
How many times? Hey, you like Kiss? How many times did they say, "I wanna rock all night, and party
They never
every
said
day"?
they never said that. They said
No,
I
they
I
want
never
want to
said
rock,
that.
rock and roll
I
all
want to
night.
rock and roll all night and party every day. They say it over and over
Yeah.
and over and over and over.
And probably made like $5 million off that.
I don't
Now,
care what they made off
now
that.
here's
There's
my
a
mom
bunch of fucking punk
forever
ass idiots out there.
always thought that the song was I want to rock and roll. This is what my mom thought. I want to rock and roll all night and part of every day.
Yeah, well, how many times they say that in that song? And besides
They-
that, what do you listen to that on album or on cassette or 8 track, or when you first heard them? What you hear them on, album or
no,
tape?
actually, to be honest with you, it was a reel to reel.
Ah, man, you're way back.
Yeah, it was a reel to reel, and it was Kiss Alive. And as soon as it came on, and I heard the first chord, I think my balls dropped, and I'm like, ooh, ooh, and it
I'm a
was,
man.
yeah, it was awesome.
I gonna
yeah.
rock and roll all
Okay,
night.
let me ask you this,
Every day.
Swiss
Well,
steak.
if they can do it, I can do it. Let's see if we
All right.
can make some money on that.
Sure, Swiss steak. What is your favorite band or artist?
Swizzle
Yeah.
stick.
Yeah, what is yours? You like to pick on my favorite bands or artists. What is yours?
Mine is undisputed.
Undisputed. Okay, then who's the
Never
undisputed
heard of
champ?
them. Never heard of Undisputed. Is
Well,
that a band name?
you can't dispute my
It was
band.
you liked Lou Christie.
What is your band? What's your favorite band? Come on. Come on, man.
Come on, Lunchbox.
Come
Well, I'm
on.
old school. I'm old school.
Don't matter. Don't matter. Don't matter. What's your favorite
I don't
band?
care if you
We'll
like
find
the
something to
Platters.
criticize. We'll find something. You just
But
don't
he's
want us to
still going.
criticize.
He's still going. He's still
Okay.
going.
Who is it?
Who is
It's
it?
Mick
Mick.
and the boys.
Who?
Okay, the Rolling Stones.
Okay, all right. We're almost right here. One of my favorite bands, so I can't really make fun of them. All right.
I can make fun of them.
Well, I can make
I
fun of
said,
some of the things.
it's undisputed. It's you can't
Charlie
argue with
Watts.
that.
Charlie Watts is fucking 82 years old, and the fucker's gonna go on tour again. He
Yeah.
looks like death.
Oh, they're definitely out for the money.
When is
Yeah,
it
but
time to retire? Enough
who
is
else?
time.
enough. I'm done. I'm
It's
so
time.
done with the Stones. Give it a rest. It's over.
Well, I see. I'm not a Stone. Here's the thing about me is I'm not a Stones. Like I can't put one of their albums on and listen to every song. I can't dig it. But certain songs I think are some of the best songs written, like "Sympathy for the Devil" and "Under My Thumb," and those are songs that are one of a kind and awesome. But not every song they did was awesome. Where like for me with Kiss. In the 70s Kiss, I could put an album on and I liked every song, but that was me. That's what I liked. So,
Right.
I mean, as far as I was with the Stones, it was always like a song thing, not an album thing for me with them.
Well, I listen to the Stones and I listen to every song on their albums. That's just me. But as far as Kiss goes, I wouldn't listen to one song.
Yeah, and that's fine. And you don't have to
Oh
because
man, there's a few Kiss songs that are not. You go to the B sides like Strotter. That's a great song.
right.
You,
You're only listening to the Kiss radio played songs. So
Yeah.
if you like,
That's because I wouldn't go and buy their fucking album.
but if you don't have to because there's
you
this
wouldn't
neat
buy their
thing
album
called
because of
streaming.
those. Yeah, you wouldn't buy their album because of the songs they played on the radio.
Right.
And that's the only time you heard them. But if you listen to a couple of their B sides, you'd understand that they're more talented than that.
They're just a rock band that had to go with what the 70s was bringing to them.
Right.
Like the
That's what
70s.
I go on what I hear on the radio,
Sure.
and then if I'm interested, I will go buy their album.
But now,
if I'm not, then I won't.
That's how I liked the Rolling Stones was by songs. But then I didn't finish my story.
You
I
tell me
listened.
you couldn't listen to the whole Exile on Main Street album?
Well, you didn't let me finish. Okay. I said
Let him
years
finish.
later, I listened to Let It Bleed from beginning to end, and
Good,
I fell in love with it. Okay. So
good.
what I'm saying is my
Beggar's
ignorance.
Banquet, Beggar's Banquet, fucking, you
That's
know,
fine. Those are all
Yeah.
great albums. But so is, uh, you know, Kiss was better
Mick
live.
Jagger solo. Mick Jagger albums are fucking bad, dude.
Yeah,
Bad.
I don't know. Mick Jagger thinks he's all that in a bag of chips, and he's really not.
Well, I
You know,
use the same thing you use. He's made millions of dollars on it.
sure. Oh, he's made way more than he made way more than the
They
fucking Kiss
kissed it.
ever would make. Absolutely. And but what Kiss did was Kiss took a small group of people in the 70s and kept them. They kept them through the 80s and they kept them through the 90s, and then their kids took them and ran with the ball. So Kiss is a small group of people, but they are loyal,
Yeah, but
loyal fans.
why did they dress like clowns to get their start in because they were poor, piss poor.
Absolutely.
In other words,
Absolutely. I would do
money,
anything too. I
piss
would.
poor in lyrics
You're
and
telling
music.
me, no, they were not. No
Yes.
way. Okay, one of their best songs is called Black Diamond. It's about a black hooker in the early 70s that they all met. It's a great story. It's a great song. You've never heard it, so you can't say it's not. Uh,
Right.
Now, there's other songs that they did. I can't, not off the top of my head,
Cold
that are
gin. I
more.
like cold gin.
Now, see,
I
here's
like
the cool thing.
Strotter.
Sure, the cool thing about Kiss, and let me tell you about them. Two of the guys in Kiss were the hugest Beatles fans, and the other two guys in Kiss were the hugest Rolling Stones fans. So they kind of have all those sounds. And then if you listen to some of their shit, it almost sounds a little Zeppelin-ish too. They were just regular guys, but once they started getting this popularity, that's when it changed. Okay,
Right.
once you become famous, now you can't write that gritty rock song. You can't even deny that, because you can listen to the Rolling Stones in the late 60s when they were a badass rock band, and then in the 70s, I Miss You was two steps away from a disco song.
Yep. They did.
So
They played to
yeah,
their audience too.
right.
The
Well, as
Stones
far
played.
as Led Zeppelin goes, Led Zeppelin, there's a few songs on their albums that are really good, and then there's a few that just I can't handle. It's just
Oh
like
yeah, I
like
agree with you.
Black Dog and they overplayed Zeppelin throughout the
They over
years.
Zeppelin's the most
They overplayed
overplayed.
Kiss as well.
Yeah,
They
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 did, and
overplayed them all, man.
they do it. But here's the thing: if people like it, then you play it. Now, there's also people out there. I know so many people. Um, oh my god, I can't remember his real name sometimes.
Don't make you blue.
Yeah, but everybody goes through their phase of pop rock. Even the Stones did it. The Beatles were the
Well,
best at doing it. You know,
Cashmere. You got
yeah.
songs like Cashmere that blow Black Dog out of the water and a whole lot of love
Oh,
out of the water.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
They play
Gallows
them
Pole.
way too much.
Those
The
ballads
Beatles
were just
wrote
phenomenal.
Since I
peace and
love you,
love songs, and they wrote songs for sitting around the campfire and singing along, and they wrote songs for everybody at like sitting around the campfire camping, and that's what they
Oh,
wrote
John
songs
Denver
for.
yeah,
sitting
John
around the
Denver,
campfire and everybody's high.
Rocky Mountain High.
Yeah, I wonder if
Probably
we'll hear
not,
from
though.
John Denver tonight from the devil. I
But
wonder
I
if
don't know. I don't
he's
know.
But the
well,
Rolling Stones, they wrote songs for fighting. Them fuckers, they wrote songs about and
oh,
this and that.
you know what? It never fails. Whenever that's why in a bar setting, you'll never hear the Rolling Stones. Street
Yeah,
fighting,
because
man, none of it, because it'll start a fucking fight in a New
yeah,
York fucking minute.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what
It'll
else will
start.
start a fight? The Rumble from oh my God, Link Ray.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, that's a great
Kiss
thing too.
would in a bar would empty the fucking bar. Okay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Kiss would bring them along, but if you played a Rolling Stones song, during a break between bands or something,
Uh,
there'd be a fight. There'd be a fight. It doesn't take
I
much. You
I'm a
won't find
sad
a
sap.
fucking Rolling Stones song on a fucking jukebox. You
Oh,
Yeah,
won't. Not in any
every
bar.
every time you turn on the Rolling Stones, you got a fight going.
yeah, but
And then
come on, not all their songs were that good. Undercover the Night. Well, who's that going to fight with? The fucking hairdresser?
it's the beat. It's that goddamn Watts, Charlie
It,
Watts, and his drumming. That
he's
motherfucker can cause an irritation that it's like
He's under.
subliminal.
all right.
It's
All
like
right. Charlie
subliminal.
Watts has the good backbeat. I'll agree with you. But as far as it goes, I think Ringo Starr was a better drummer than Charlie Watts
Oh, I agree.
Oh,
because
yeah,
Ringo Starr
but
had
Charlie
like
Watts,
a style all of his own. No, Charlie Watts
Charlie,
hit the backbeat tough. He was one of them drummers like that. He really was, and he still can do it, which is amazing at 80 some years old.
you can't compare Watts with Ringo. Ringo was a great drummer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he
He
was.
was like a jazzy
Well, he
drummer.
still is. I mean, he's still with us. He's still out there doing it, and
Sure.
it's
He's a
amazing. He's
studio.
82.
He's a studio drummer when they picked him up. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
No, he's yeah. So do you know? Remember Jimmy Page was a studio guitarist.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he played on
He
like
played
Dusty
until he got with
Springfield.
the Yardbirds. Then
Right.
once he got with the Yardbirds, he was pretty much stuck doing his music, and
Right.
there's a lot.
Kiss on a reel to reel, huh? With headphones or speakers?
I think it was speakers, and then after that moment, I did listen to it all again on headphones, but I think I listened to it on a vinyl after that. But that first experience was on the reel to reel, which to me is the best sounding form of music ever. Was the reel to reel.
When I was in
Chris,
the Navy, I had on the Enterprise on my ship, I had a reel to reel I bought from this guy that was getting out. So I
Right.
just took it over and I had all the Sticky Fingers on there.
Yeah.
I had, all the Rolling Stones collection from, the early 70s, late 60s the 70s, But
No,
I
the
when
Rolling
I was in the
Stones.
Navy in 1971, 72,
Yeah.
this is a long time ago. I'm feeling old here.
I think the worst medium for music, the worst thing to ever listen to music on is the 8-track.
Right.
It-
Remember the 8-track?
Oh.
You had to go like
Yeah.
this and shit. You had to, the tape would get eaten, and you go like this real fast with it.
Yep. I remember.
And it would climb back up in there. How do you remember that? You're too little, young for that.
My dad's 64 Impala had one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cassette
Oh.
player or the 8-track?
No,
Are
the
we
8-track player.
The
Yeah.
8-track, yeah, you
Yeah,
can spin
yeah.
it back up in there.
Yeah.
And the 8-track was really bad because, Stairway to Heaven was split in half.
A lot of
It's
songs were. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the great songs were split in half. It was ridiculous. Come on, give me a fucking break.
No, yeah.
Fuck it.
That's the worst form. Even like,
The 8-track. Yeah. Go ahead.
I got my dad's 8-tracks like when he got his first CD player and shit, So
Yeah.
I would listen to a lot of the old bands that I never knew about on the 8-track, and I'm always like, "Oh, it's really good." And then all of a sudden I would listen to it on something else and be like, "Oh my god, that song is great." Just because they sounded the recording quality was fucking horrible.
How you like my little plant? She overwatered.
Yeah, it looks yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's not going to make it, I don't think, is it?
Yeah, it's gonna make it. It'd take a
It'll
couple
make it.
weeks
It
to
just got.
come out of shock.
Yeah.
She's just a little bit. She's in shock right now, but she will make it.
With the ass a hole.
Hey,
What are you
we're
doing?
we're still on 2 screens, and I'm the little guy in the top right.
You're always
Now-
going to be the little guy.
You're always
Well,
going to be the little guy.
We're not going to do that. Call in somebody else. Call in and have have a logo there, so we can all
It
three be in the
doesn't.
same.
No, it doesn't
No,
need
We
to.
don't need to do that.
What
All
when it
three of us
goes
we'll all be large in the
Yes.
show. When
the
we
way
do the
it's
show on
when it
YouTube,
records it.
when you replay it back, you'll be able to see all three of us in big screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it just
Okay.
mine's small too. And so is
Oh.
Guido's. Guido's is small up in the
That's
corner.
what she said.
I see. All right, because I can't hardly see.
Leastways, that's what his wife told me. He's a small.
All right then. All right.
Got it now.
I'm gonna get a tattoo. I'm gonna get a tattoo of Popeye and put him on my nipple, and that'll be his dick.
Did you hear what this motherfucker said? Yeah, I heard him. I heard him.
Yeah, I can't believe he said that. I
I
can't
did.
believe he just said that. Yeah, I can't believe that. I can't believe
I
that.
did.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, this bitch is inside in California. This bitch is inside cleaning marijuana for this guy. He's producing marijuana, and they're cleaning. But she left her 6-month-old baby out in the fuking car
What
in
the
100
No.
feet. Now,
No.
how stupid can people be? Now, now this is dumb, beyond dumb.
Yeah,
And then the
that's
police got there. Then the police got there when they called for help. And
mhm.
the police got there and said, well, what the fuck is going on inside? So they go inside and they bust the guy for every fucking thing he had. They busted a meth lab. They busted a fucking pot lab. They busted them all for all that shit. And because that bitch didn't bring her kid inside.
That's
And
fucking
there were teenagers there, could have watched the baby, whatever, but she left the baby out in her fucking car.
she
What the
should.
fuck is wrong with people,
Did the
man?
baby pass away?
Yeah, baby died.
Oh man, she
Oh
should
yeah,
definitely
fried her
go to
brain.
jail.
Where was
She
this?
fried. It was out in California, out in I think it was Barstow.
This
It,
recent? Because I haven't heard.
yeah, it was. It was just recently. I read about it today, the other day. I guess it was last Wednesday or Thursday. Baby was pronounced dead at the scene.
Well,
Wow.
some people just can't handle doing drugs, man. That's all.
Yeah, well, some
No,
people shouldn't
no.
have kids either.
I think there's just some stupid people. You don't.
Well, I still don't think we need a daddy to tell us whether we can do it or not.
Well,
And you'll never get me to believe in that.
you'll have to
Believe in
start your
what?
own republic.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
they
gotta start
can't
your own
blame
country.
the drug on that deal. They gotta blame her stupidity on that. You
No,
know,
Oh yeah,
that's
no, that's just
I
plain
don't disagree
stupid.
with that. Yeah, I don't
No,
disagree
that's
with
just
that.
plain. What made
Yeah.
you think that that kid was gonna, you could leave that kid in that car? It's 110
yeah, but
outside.
still,
It's
they'll
135,
blame it all on
140
the
degrees
drugs.
inside the fucking car.
They'll blame it on the drugs and say that's why it's illegal.
Yeah, but
Who the
no, I
fuck
don't
do you
know.
think you are?
They're a little less on that now, as like they used to be. I mean,
That is true.
you couldn't even talk about drugs without getting in trouble and shit. But now you don't have to worry about it as much. I mean, you don't, because weed is pretty much acceptable in how many states? 20 some states.
Yeah,
You know,
Well,
it's not the weed.
you
It's
know,
not the. It's just plain stupidity.
my
it's
burn,
stupidity.
my
Yeah.
burn is still relatively recent. My burn.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
my
well,
burn,
burns
my
happen.
burn. Yeah, no, yeah, but they shouldn't, but they did.
No, they shouldn't. You're right. I'm not saying that anybody deserves what they get, but sometimes it's like politicians will be so corrupt and then they get caught and they'll be like, "Oh, I fucked up." Yeah, but you were not going to stop doing it until you got caught. You
Right.
know what I mean? So that doesn't mean
I
anything.
didn't,
I mean,
he didn't need that
Well, I
help.
mean, what's the thing with DWI? When people get busted for a DWI, they don't stop drinking and driving. They just keep on doing it.
no, they
What's
do it.
wrong with
That's
people?
right.
Well, that's because their law is not strict enough.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not harsh enough. It's
yeah.
not harsh enough. The
Oh, it's
penalty
pretty
is.
harsh here. I
It
mean,
is
I
harsh
know.
here in Missouri now. It's harsh
I
here.
mean, the
They've knocked
penalty
it
on
down to.
growing
They've
the
knocked it down to
penalty on
2.
growing up one plant back in the day was way more than getting busted for DUI.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So
Oh no,
we've
the
come a long
penalties
way.
were not equal. They have never been equal. The penalties have never been equal. But now DWI is a really
Felony.
fuck. It's
It
really
should be
fucked
a
up now,
it
man.
should be a felony.
It is
Yeah.
here in the state of New York.
If you kill somebody while you're under the influence of alcohol and driving, that's murder. That's not manslaughter. That's murder.
Yeah, in
That's
New York,
It's
it's a
huge.
it's a not a federal offense. It's a what do you
But
call
not,
it?
not that I'm saying that I haven't been drunk, tore out of frame driving back
Me
in the
too.
day.
Me too. And got
You
away
know?
with it.
I mean, I've had the police pull us over in the 60s and have us dump our beer.
Yeah.
Remember? They,
Yeah.
they make us dump out. We'd have a case of beer in the back and fucking they'd make us dump it all out on the curb and say, get
Yeah.
on your way. Of
You know,
course, some of those times we weren't really toasty, but there's other times, that we got away with,
Right.
and
I
Yeah,
got
but see
caught
now,
one time.
go
I
ahead.
got
shit,
caught
I
one
was
time.
so drunk one time. I was so drunk in Missouri one time. Let me tell you this one, man. And I was doing Valiums too. So I was pretty toasty. I pulled into Jack in the Box to get a burger. And then I decided I didn't want a burger. So I fucking backed up and hit the car behind me. I was in the line. And then I pulled forward, hit the car in front of me. Then I backed up again and I jumped over this island. And there's the cops sitting at the fucking gas station. There's like 4 of them, police cars
Laughing his
right there.
ass.
And I jumped the curb and I'm making all kind of noise. Bang, 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 bang. And then I take off. They didn't bother me. Shit, later on, I'm closing one eye to drive and I hit guardrails. I hit guardrails on the freeway. And I'm trying to turn these corners and I'm hitting cars parked, fucking cars. And the fucking finally I'm trying to get on the freeway and the fucking car, I made a real wide turn so I could make it without hitting a guardrail again. There's the cops. I'm in the middle of the intersection. I just stopped everything right there, man. Because, and so the cops, they say, you want to go to jail or can you go back to your friend's house and stay there? And I said, oh, let's go to my friend's house. So I passed out in the back of the cop car. They took me to my friend's house and knocked on the door, and his mom said, yeah, come on in. He can stay here. And they let me go, man. This was back in the 70s.
Wow.
70s?
Yeah, 70s. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That'll
Yeah.
never happen today.
Not today. You'd be in
No.
jail for a long time. I'll tell you what, I got busted one night. I was so drunk and I had to piss. And having to piss makes it even worse because, fuck, I should have pissed before I left the bar. Oh my God, I gotta pee. So I get off the highway and I fucking go to this fucking rest stop. And I pull into a fucking rest stop. And I run into the fucking can and I take a piss and I come out and there's a cop sitting right behind my fucking car.
Ooh.
Right behind my car. So I come walking up and he goes, hey, how you doing? I said, all right. He said, I saw you driving a little erratically. Are you okay? And I said, no, I just had to piss in the worst way. And he started laughing. I said, I swear to God, officer, I had to pee so bad. And I kept my distance from him, but I know he smelled alcohol.
Right.
I know. He said, well, where do you live at? I said, I live right off of 44 there. I get off there at fucking Walnut. And he goes, yeah. And I said, yeah, I get off right there and then go over to Utah and I'm home. He said, yeah, all right. He followed me all the way to my exit to get off the highway and made sure I made it home okay. And I was driving with one eye closed and I'm trying to stay on the fucking road and stay in my lane. And he knew I was fucked up. He took me all the way to fuck home. I fucking went inside the house. Oh, I got yelled at for that one. You don't drive drunk, blah, blah, blah. I said, I just had to pee. That was pretty cool, though. I've had him tell me to keep my marijuana at home, too. And just
I'm driving this fucking Cadillac, right? And I'm drunk and shit. We'd been drinking fucking tequila, right? And we're smoking a joint. And I'm driving in this Cadillac. And the joint fell down in between my legs, and I'm stopped. I wasn't at the light. The light was another 20 feet or more in front of me, right? But I didn't realize that. And then the cars had already gone. So then the cop right behind me, and I'm looking for the fucking roach. It's burning my nuts. And it fucking here comes the cops to my fucking window. Tick, 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 tick. All right, get out. They're going to do the sobriety check and all this. Say the alphabet backwards. Stand on one leg, close your eyes, and do the nose bit and all this shit, right? God damn it, man. But I'm drunker than fuck, man. Well, it turns out I started cussing at him and shit, right? So they took me to jail for, suspected, and they were going to do a blood test, but the doctor was out, so I got away with that, and they didn't charge me for shit.
Yeah, they just locked you up for the evening and then sent you home.
I never did get a DUI.
No, neither have I ever. Never,
You, Guido? You?
Never.
never,
I've
never
been,
got caught.
yeah,
I
I've
come
been
close. I've
close.
come close.
I've
I've
been
come
close.
close, very close, but I've never been busted for DUI.
I know. And then
And I
there's
know
other
guys that
guys.
get busted all
They
the.
get 5 of them, 5 DUIs,
How do you
3,
do
2,
that? How do you get 5 DUIs? I mean,
10.
I, after 3, they take your license, don't they? Unless you've got
Yeah,
a really good lawyer.
they give it back to you later.
You get it taken away after your first one here.
Yeah. Well, you lose
Well,
your
they got
license
all
for at
kinds
least a
of
year.
Yeah.
like things for you. Like if you're a caregiver, they'll give you the license to use to go to the store and take care of your
Hardship.
mom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hardship.
you
Hardship.
know,
Yeah.
but
Where are you
you're
going?
drunk or
I'm going to
shit,
the bar.
you know.
You're going to. I knew a gal that had a blow to start her car. She's got
Uh,
a
Yeah,
device in her
I
car.
know. Stop. I knew a lot of people that had to do that.
Stop.
Yeah.
I haven't, I never knew nobody.
No.
Uh-uh.
He's a pain in the ass, this the devil.
The devil was nibbling on his ear, and he said, "Stop."
Yeah, he's a fucking perv.
Oh, oh, oh.
Damn devil.
Well,
Wow.
anyway, what I
Anyway.
was saying was I've never had a DUI, and I've known plenty of guys that have, but I've never seen them have to blow in the machine yet. I've never had a friend that had to do
No, I
that.
had a friend of mine. Now you've had a friend that, and I
I've
had.
never had a friend. I've never had a friend that had to wear a bracelet either.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had a friend that had an ankle bracelet
I
for a
never,
little
I
while.
never seen that.
Yeah. He couldn't leave his house for any reason, and if he
Yeah.
had to leave, he had to call. If he had to go to the doctor or something, he had to call his probation
Well, he
officer.
did something bad then.
Yeah, no, he was pure D evil. He was an
Yeah.
evil
Yeah.
man.
I
Now,
mean that.
now my other friend, he had 4 DUIs, one in Illinois, one in Iowa, and then 2 in Missouri.
Huh.
And then he got caught again in Missouri for the 3rd time, and they said, "That's it, you're done."
Oh yeah,
It,
they should. It should have
they
been.
said, next time you're going to get jail time." They told him
Well,
straight up.
this friend of mine got kicked out of like I think it was PT's over there in Illinois,
Yeah.
and it's a strip joint, kind of a titty bar. But back
No,
in the
it's not
day,
kind of. It's a titty bar.
yeah, back in the day,
It's
I went. This friend of mine went back there, and he said he got kicked out of there, right? And then uh, he was with a friend of his, and then they went to that guy's place, man, and they picked up a couple of guns, a shotgun, and ran back over the bridge and went back over there, man. Snow on the ground, 3 feet deep. The guy said, and he said they threw him out of the back door into the snow when they got kicked out of the bar because he was bouncing on the table like this. This guy, right? Yeah, motherfucker. So we get the guns, right? And we come back and we're going to blow the front doors off, right? Boy, were we some fucking drunken idiots or what?
You did that?
A friend of mine.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were doing it too.
No, so then a friend, they said they drove down the street and they blew the shit out of a gas station, the windows of a closed gas station, oil flying everywhere. Boom, boom. Couple of
Your
idiots,
friends are all
man. I
coming
mean,
to my place.
that would have goddamn required a bracelet. That would have been more than a bracelet.
Your friends are coming with me.
I mean, have you ever broken
Your friends
the
are coming
law?
with me.
Yeah, you too, motherfucker. You coming too.
That you got away with it? I mean,
Oh, there's a lot of things that I got away with that I should have never got away with.
right?
Lots
Yeah.
of yeah, lots of things.
Yeah.
Some we can't say on the air.
Some I can't repeat because
Well, that's why.
there's no statute of limitations on what I did.
Yeah.
That's why there's a third party involved. I never did nothing like that, but
You're
that,
lying.
no,
Yeah.
a friend of mine. Oh, come on, man, prove it.
A friend of mine, when you say that, is you.
Yeah, yeah, you're using friend of mine to cover for yourself, man.
Now, if you say a friend of
Come on,
mine
man.
has a big dick, I'm gonna know. You know.
He's thinking about yourself.
Mm,
Well, my friend's got a little dick.
yeah. See, now I know for sure.
Now we know it's
See?
you.
Absolutely.
I'm
What do you
so
guys
confused.
what do you guys think about, when like bands that you grew up with, like the Stones or whatever, keep releasing music? You think any of it's good?
Uh, you know, I, you know what? I'll buy a solo Mick Jagger album, but as
Yeah.
far as you know,
I mean, really, because there's a lot of bands that I grew up with that put music out now, and I can't really like stomach it. It's like horrible, and
Right.
it's not really good music. And do I just buy it because it's a band that I grew up with and a band that I was loyal to for all them years,
are
or
you talking about Kiss, your
no?
buddy?
Anybody. I
Anybody.
haven't. I haven't bought a Kit. Listen, I only liked Kiss in the '70s. When they got to the '80s and all that, I didn't like them anymore as much. So I haven't liked a Kiss album since probably 1992.
1992.
Yeah,
Is
Well,
and
that the
Gonzo,
one that was
Gonzo, we
rock
were
and
talking
roll
about
all
eight-track
night?
players.
yeah.
He still
Party
has
game?
one in his truck.
A-track player.
An eight-track player. He still has eight tracks and a player in his truck.
Ooh,
That's Gonzo. Yeah.
I bet you he's got a Johnny Cash 8-track.
I
I
bet he
wonder if
does
they're
too.
worth anything anymore. Are them things worth anymore?
They're not worth anything. You can use it as a doorstop, maybe.
Yeah. If they
Oh,
still work, hey, that's great. If they still work.
oh, well, I mean, what could you get for one? And who's got one? They're
You
rare. It's
no,
Yeah, they
kind of
I
are
like
rare.
I just
it's
threw
kind of
out
like
tons of
uh,
them.
it's kind of like my VHS player. My,
Yeah, that's never coming back in style.
VHF. I've
Yeah.
got a VHS player and it don't work no more. It eats
I
tapes.
have one. I have one that
Still
works.
haven't thrown the fucking thing
I,
away.
I haven't had one since probably 1996 or whenever a DVD player came out.
Right?
That's the last time I owned a
You
VCR.
remember when CD players come out? They were like $800,
Yeah,
nine
I
hundred
do. My
dollars.
my dad
Now you
got.
can get one for $1.50. You
Yeah.
Yeah,
got 100 and a
yeah,
Yeah.
half. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
It's the same
yeah.
thing with computers. The newest computer comes out, and when it hits the market, it's $1,800. Now you can get it for $800,
That's
seven
because you
hundred dollars.
don't need that stuff anymore. You could just go to Spotify or Amazon Music or
Right,
Apple
right.
Music and just stream it
Or
all off of
yeah,
there.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I use Sirius XM in my car, so
Right. So
I've got a
nobody needs
constant
to.
variety of any kind of music I want.
Absolutely. And why bother with going to buy the CD and go? You're better off subscribing to one of the streaming companies. And
True, that's
I,
true.
I'm sure artists will disagree with me, and of course, because they probably get less. I know they get less, but
Well, I have a CD player in my car, and I don't have Wi-Fi, in my car that's Wi-Fi ready, so I can't play, YouTube. And besides that, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I have a 6 disc player in my glove box that, so I have, I'll change them once in a while, but I'll listen to those 6 discs for a long time, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah,
See, I can't
But
do that because I have to listen to like all different things at all different times, and the way music is now, it's so beneficial to me because I'll just hit a random mix and like everything will come on, and
And
it
no
makes
commercials, no commercials.
no commercials because I pay $14.95 a month to have it that
Oh,
way. You
fuck
know,
yeah.
that.
And I'm the
yeah,
same way with Sirius XM. Is the only hard thing about Sirius XM, if you want to hear a certain genre of music, you
That's
got to
two
change the
hundred
channel.
dollars a year.
yeah.
That's around $200 a year, which really adds up.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
what I would spend way more than that on buying music. Like if I went to buy the physical CD, if I wanted to have everything that I
Yeah.
want to hear, I would spend thousands of
And I
dollars
can hear
on
new
music.
stuff.
Well,
If I
I
want to hear
understand
what's
the logic
new,
behind that. I
Yeah,
understand the logic behind that,
we
but I
only
couldn't.
pay $9 a month for both our vehicles. Plus,
right,
I've got Sirius XM on my phone. I've got it on my computer. I'm
yeah,
downloaded. I can listen to Sirius XM anytime I want to.
right.
So
And I'm into Spotify. That's what I use is
yeah.
Spotify. And
The
same
only thing
thing.
I can't do is request music, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I can't punch something in and say I want to hear this.
No, and
You know,
see, but
you
that's why
Oh,
can't.
on Spotify you can. Like I
Yeah,
can go to single albums and listen to, Exiles on Main Street. Boom, listen to the whole album. Then I can jump to, Frank Zappa and listen to some of his albums or whoever, and I can listen to single songs. I can make my own playlist. I can set it up to have, ballads if I wanted to in one list, and riff rock songs. And I mean, I got so many options and so much music out there. It's paying $200 a month is well worth it for me. I mean, it's just or a
no,
year. I mean, a 200
200 a
bucks a
year.
year. Yeah, 200 a year. Because when I was buying CDs in the 90s and early 2000s, I was spending $100, $200 a week or a month sometimes.
right.
Well, who gets the kickback on that $200 a year for everybody giving
The
in that
bands do.
$200 a
The
year?
bands and the
Bands
studios
get
get
a
all the
piece of the
money.
pie,
Yeah, yeah,
and Spotify, they get a
Oh,
piece
right,
of
then
the pie.
good. You're
yeah,
supporting them. All
mhm,
right.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same thing with our station. It's not
right.
free. The
No,
station
Right.
is not free.
you
We have
pay
to pay
for it.
royalties.
Yeah,
Right.
We have to pay royalties to play our stuff, and it's a damn shame that YouTube doesn't recognize that we already do that. Otherwise,
right.
we wouldn't have to worry about this shit that we do on our show, and we can actually take a break and play
And
a
play some
song
music, right?
and play some music, and then come back in and go get a bottle of water or take a piss or something in the middle of the show. Or if we run out of shit to talk about, we can talk about the band that I'm playing. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
That would make
No,
life so much
it's
easier on us.
definitely a handcuffs.
It is.
Yeah, and the thing about it that makes it even worse is, like you said, we pay for it to be able to play the music on our radio station, but it doesn't transfer over here, and
No.
that just trickles down to YouTube ain't getting any of the money.
Well,
Yeah.
you
You
get
know,
you get everybody gets it for free.
yeah, but
See,
YouTube, no, you it's paid for.
No, we
Okay,
have to pay for
yeah.
YouTube.
So now what happens is, say you have.
no, everybody else, like the layman person who are to listen
Oh
to
yeah,
it.
you get it for free. Yeah, you can watch
Yeah.
it and listen to it for free on YouTube. But what happens is those ads are running. YouTube's getting
Interrupt our
money
show.
for it. Okay, so
That's yeah.
now if you have
I see.
copyrighted music in your video, the band gets the money from the ads and not you.
Yeah,
Right.
So, but
right.
that's where it's bullshit because say the show's 3 hours long, 2 hours long, whatever. If I play 30 seconds of Rush's song, Free Will, I have to give them all the money the video generates
Right.
for 30 fucking seconds. That's not fair. You know,
Yeah.
there should be some kind of and maybe there is, and we just don't know about it. And if anybody listens and they know how this YouTube crap works, let us know at KGF Rocks at mail.com or say it down there. Don't be ashamed. Show us who you are.
Shows who
I'm
you
getting
are, right?
stoned, man. I'm getting stoned,
I'm
man.
getting really hot. It's like so hot here today. It's
Is
ridiculous.
it warm?
Hmm.
Yeah. We had a hot day today too. It was 91 today.
Oh, it wasn't that
Yeah.
hot. Fuck, that's real hot.
It was hot here today too. So I guess it's hot all across the country.
Yeah, that's crazy. 90 what? Right, because right now it's 73 here now.
Yeah, it's in the low 80s right now. It's
Yeah,
muggy out.
yeah. It
Yeah,
just
humidity is bad. How things in Texas there, Gonzo? I know he's listening and keeping track of our show. Gonzo's going to be our fact checker,
that's good.
and you know,
We
uh,
need one because shit's
yeah,
staying there lies all the
yeah,
time.
shit stay. He's always lying about something. Knee scab.
Yeah, don't even know my name, do you?
No, showcase. Showdown. Uh, uh, Knee scab.
Split cheeks.
Split cheeks.
Yeah.
We love you, bro. We love you. Yeah. So what
Albert,
else is going? What's going on in the news, man? We got UFOs, man. What better topic can we talk about but UFOs,
they're
man?
not going to release that info
They're not. Why not?
because they're going to give some bullshit excuse why they couldn't get ready for the June whatever deadline.
I know
And
what
we're
it
not.
is. I already know what it is. It's a government. These are U.S. aircraft. These are
Oh, absolutely. That's what a lot
oh
of people think.
these are no, and they're also Chinese and they're also Russian.
Sure.
Hitler was working on um, anti-gravity, and he was working on craft that can move without fucking. They had a gyro on it, and they could move around from one place to the other at high rates of speed. And he figured that out, and well, he ran out of time and money. But the
Right.
secret got to the beginnings of this got to the Russians. The Russians got it first,
Right.
and they've sold it to the Chinese. And these
I mean,
are foreign craft, man.
just think about it. Warner
They're not
von
alien.
Ber, whatever his name was, Warner von whatever, was the first head of NASA, and he was a Nazi scientist.
Oh yeah, the guys that
So,
built the bomb, the guys that helped us build the bomb were
right,
fucking Russian, were fucking Nazis.
right.
They
So,
were Germans.
it's funny that you say that because I've read a lot about that, and there was this dude in the '90s I used to listen to named William Cooper, and he said in the '90s that one day the government's going to do a false flag operation with UFOs.
Yeah,
And everybody thought he was a whack, and
here
I
it is
think he
coming
might have,
true.
he might have been right on that. See that there is some kind of thing. Either it's that, or maybe they really are here and they really did come here, and they don't want us to know it, no matter what the Freedom of Information Act laws say.
Right.
So
Well, when are they going
I
to
don't know.
shoot one down? I want to see them shoot one down just to find out what the fuck it is. I
Right.
know they could
Well, then
fucking fire a rocket and
they
hit that
should
fucker.
train. They should maybe train our pilots now to not cry when they see it.
Right.
To not what?
Cry when they see it.
They
Who
ain't
cried?
crying. They're going, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'd be
That's
like
what I'm
scared.
saying. What I'm saying, crying. I'm saying it like talking about it or even reporting it. I mean, that's what I'm saying about whining about it.
Right.
Well,
All right.
yeah, but they're just reporting what they see. That's a
Right.
Well, they
natural
don't.
instinct.
Yeah, but they don't need to do that and
Well,
broadcast it
why
publicly
not? Why not?
because
Why
it's
should it be a
if it's
secret?
if it's understood, and then we need to train our pilots that it's accepted and that's the way it is. But we got to keep it under wraps, and then that's
Why?
it.
Why do we got to keep it under wraps? That's
Yeah,
suppression of
what are they
information.
afraid of?
If the public fucking knows about it, it might be a riot on their hands or some kind of.
I don't think so. I think people believe in it already, so I don't think that would happen. If that would
Right.
happen to a few out there people, maybe, but for the vast majority, I think vast majority thinks it's real, or like you said, it's a military operation.
I
But
think it's military. I think
but
it's
too
totally
many
military.
people have stories of seeing UFOs. So it's got to be something. It's not coincidental that thousands of people just make up a story that they saw a UFO. Not
Right.
yeah, a lot of them, maybe some of them, whatever. But not everybody that said they seen a UFO is a liar. So is it real or is it Memorex? What is it?
Well, I think I think, like I said, I think it's military. I think it has a lot to do with it, and
Well,
prove me
I think
wrong.
that
I don't
it's
think it's
also
alien.
Yeah.
is reflections. I
Well,
I
not that
think
interesting.
they're chasing shadows of reflections that just so happen to happen. And they could be from the sun, and it could be from the beam of the sun. And the motherfucking sun be going like this, and then the earth turns, and then so does that fucking ray of shadow from the fucking sun or something that's got a spot in their atmosphere. And it could be that. Who the hell know? That's what I think it is. I think it's all a phenomenal coming from the sun, and it's actually like a sun shadow on our atmosphere that Oh,
on the
okay.
night
Well,
side of the earth, though. At
and
night.
that's why, yeah, yes, it'll reflect. It's a reflection of the sun and the moon, and it's like a prism,
You better
and
go watch some YouTube videos because there's very much evidence of things flying, hovering, moving. I don't think it's
Radically.
sunspots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not sunspots, dude. I think it's military. I really do. I think that the
oh,
Russians and the Chinese and the United States, they all have these nice new fucking aircraft that they haven't perfected yet, but they're still working on them.
But
And there's
here's
more
why
and
I
more
think
of them
you're
being
right.
flown.
Here's why I think you're right. Trump created the United States Space Force.
Correct.
exactly.
Trump didn't create it. Trump brought it from being a secret.
Yeah.
That's what
It's
I
already
think.
been there. It's
Right.
already been there.
Right.
The
And
Space
I think
Force has already been there. You're
you're not
right.
telling me that there's not satellites up there that can cause harm to other places.
Oh, yeah. And you're
There,
not telling me that
yeah,
Star Wars was completely fake.
right.
Star Wars was real. Star Wars, he made a joke out of it.
Yep.
And he made it sound like a joke. He was like Trump. He
Right.
just made a joke. Reagan made a joke out of it, and
Yep.
the fucking Russians lost their fucking mind. They
Yep.
lost the war.
And I
They
think
literally lost the war. They knew that there's no way that they can hit us with nukes now.
no, and I think that's what you're right. If you're right on your speculation that all the UFOs are government, situated,
Yeah.
uh, that's why I think Trump brought the U.S. Space Force into existence so that he kind of took the curtain back on a lot of things. You
Yeah,
know
he
what I
did.
mean?
And that's why
And
they didn't like him.
right, right.
That's the biggest, not just
Yeah.
because he had a big mouth on Twitter. It was that
Mhm.
he brought so much shit to the forefront that were supposed to be kept secret, and
Right.
they didn't
And
stay
that's why
secret.
John F. Kennedy got killed because he wanted to do the same thing.
Okay, that
You know,
brings us back to why are they trying to keep it secret from the public? And I told you it could be because they don't want a riot on their hands.
you know, because they can't control us. When they can't control us, it's not because they have
That
a riot. It's because they can't control us to the point of, when these UFOs right now, they think they're fucking from space. Now, if they attack your city, it was space people, not the United States government. Okay.
correct.
Right.
Plausible
Right.
deniability. Plausible deny. They're going to deny it. And then when we get fucking wiped out by the Chinese, they say they come to LA and they fucking wipe out LA with a laser beam
And
and shit.
so
Okay.
who's all in charge of all this? Who made all this shit up?
No, wait. So when they do it, they can say, "Oh, the aliens are here." Wow. Yeah.
Right.
Wow. And they can blame it on something else other than, well, we did it ourselves. We wanted to see what kind of fucking reaction we'd get.
And if there's secret space programs, as soon as NASA started, the Department of Defense attached uh, military personnel to work hand in hand with the civilians at NASA.
Correct.
Bullshit.
At
They were
NASA.
running
Well,
that. They've
well,
been running
well,
that.
Well, not cause especially a riot, but there'd be a panic.
There'd be a
Oh,
panic,
you
or
know,
right now there would be an awakening also as well, because you've been lying to us again. We found out that the U.S. government has been lying to us once again. Okay, so they can't
Well,
let
they're
that
gonna
go.
just say, "Oh, we didn't know. We didn't know for
Yeah,
sure."
yeah. You knew you were making spacecraft and believing that people were fucking. People were believing that there was aliens and shit. So if that's the case,
who
then
knows it's real? Who knows that the military, it's military lights and shit. And
well, now they're supposed to release that information with the Freedom of Information Act, and it's supposed to be June something. I can't remember which day in June, but it's supposed to be this month that we get all the info that the United States government's been
right.
collecting on UFOs.
what
And
do
I
you
don't think
say?
we're going
What
to
do
get
you
it.
say that was the Free Information Act?
Freedom of Information Act.
Freedom of
Free,
Information Act.
And
free
that's
info.
anybody can do a Freedom of Information Act on anything that the government has, and it's got to be a certain time frame. Like you can't get information on current missions or current whatever. But after 20 years, I believe it is, you can find out anything. That's why Trump dropped all the JFK documents.
Correct.
So who made that possible? The Freedom of Information Act.
The
We
United
did.
States Constitution.
The
But who
Constitution.
brought that into it? When did that happen?
That
The Freedom
happened
of
sometime.
Information Act came in 1990 something.
Yeah, 90
Um,
something. Yeah. Yeah, I think
yeah,
it
let
was
me.
under. It was under Bush.
Hey, Gonzo, research that for us. When, Gonzo, research
Right.
for us, man. Whether or not when did the Freedom of Information Act come into law?
If you go
Yeah,
on FOIA, I think it's .gov, you can find out every piece of information that they publicly released. There's things in there from the CIA, from the
So
NSA, from anything.
those alien bodies at Area 51, those motherfuckers really be, you
Mm-mm.
think?
Who knows?
So
You know, for
so it's
anybody to
not
get the technology.
so you think it might be just military and those
it's
aliens
all
don't exist?
military. They're learning how to fly these things. They're learning how shit works, and they're human made. They are not alien made. These spacecraft are not alien made. These high speed motherfuckers are not alien made. They are human made. I'm going to tell you that straight up front. As far as alien beings, we're not that fucking interesting that they're going to come
Right.
here.
Well,
We're
think
not
of it
that
this way
interesting.
too. If
They
you
said
built,
they got bodies and shit.
yeah, of
No,
course,
that's all
yeah.
bullshit.
But if they built an
Ah,
anti-gravity machine in the
well, you got
1960s,
They want us
no,
to believe that they're alien. They
right?
want us to believe it so it stays a
Yes,
secret. It's a cover. This alien shit is just a cover. They leak a little bit out and then they retract it. They leak a little bit out and then they retract it. That way they have plausible deniability. Wasn't us. It wasn't
right.
us. We didn't blow up Hong Kong. It was the aliens.
Yeah, it's warfare, definitely is. You know, and
Yeah.
the thing of it is too is like you all the bad things about it, like, or not the bad things, but the things like you said, like the bodies that they have, and this and that. It's propaganda. It could be propaganda pushing it towards that there is aliens because they want, if it's true what he's saying, they want you to believe in the alien aspect of it. Now, if they built an anti-gravity machine in the late 60s or early 70s or whenever they built it and didn't let the people know, that's bullshit because that's not progressing our lives by them
Right. That's true.
withholding that kind of technology or information from us.
Right.
That's just progress in the military, whatever, and that shouldn't be. We should be able to have anti-gravity cars or whatever too, if that's the case.
Well,
Correct.
And
Right.
they're building these high speed and high flying passenger jets now, where you can be in like
Supersonic flight.
well,
yeah, hour
Yeah.
and a half in Tokyo and shit, and
You go
because it
from New
goes,
York.
there's
You can
no
go from New
friction
York to
there.
Paris in
And
three and a half
this is
hours.
supposed to take place in 2030. So,
yeah.
so
2024. Well, they already had those. They had those
Right.
Concords. They had the
2030,
Concords,
they're
but
gonna
they
have
weren't
super.
cost effective. I mean,
Right.
No,
your typical flight
some of those
from
wreck,
Los
some of
Angeles
those
from
crash and burn.
well, your typical flight from New York to Paris is probably about $450, $500. Okay, on that Concorde, it would cost you fucking $1,500 one way. It was
Right.
$3,000 round trip on that motherfucker. I mean, if you want to spend that kind of money to save, 7 hours, then okay, more
Yeah,
power
with
to you.
7 hours not being on a plane is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the kind of money to spend on it, I probably would.
Right.
Hey, let's go to Paris tonight. We could be there by fucking 8 o'clock
Yeah, we can
for
get there
dinner.
by dinner.
We'll be there in
Yeah.
time for dinner.
These aircraft are fuel efficient, and they're like they don't put any pollutants in the air at all. These
Yeah.
things are environmentally safe.
I don't know if I believe
Oh, yeah,
that.
I don't know about all
Hey,
that.
you look it up. Hey, you look it up.
I'll
They
look
got
it up.
these. They got these fucking new ones that go out of the atmosphere, and they hinge on the atmosphere, and then when they come back into the atmosphere, they can land over in Paris, and it's an
Right.
hour and 15 freaking minutes. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah, but
launch, they go
but
up
you
through the
lose
space, and they come down and land in Paris
you,
in an
you
hour and a
lose
half.
you lose gravity for a few minutes though.
Yeah, yeah.
You do. That's how
Fucking
they do
nuts.
the anti-gravity test, in that they bring them up in those planes that go, once they get to the certain level, they tilt the plane up and then they start floating, and also your Google satellite it's not really up in space. It's a fucking plane that just drives across the whole world like that, going up, going all around, you know. And Google and those companies have had that kind of technology forever, but maybe it wasn't ready for the public yet, you know.
Right.
Those were unmanned things, like it was a unmanned plane, you know, that took
Right.
pictures. That was it. But you know, I don't know if I can't fucking go on a roller coaster without my stomach turning. I can't imagine going up to the tippy top of fucking almost the stratosphere and then dipping back down. That's woo, you know. That'll give your stomach a curl.
Yeah, I mean, getting up there is probably a rush.
Yeah.
Getting up to the out and then looking down and seeing the planet and actually seeing the horizon off of the planet. I mean, that's got to be so cool.
He's
That
looking at
has
his
got to be
plant.
like, oh my fucking god, what a view!
He
You
was
know,
just looking at his plant.
he was a baby in his plant.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, she
my
dosed
plant.
him. How
Look
much
at
did she
that.
put in there? A gallon?
Oh, I don't know, man, but she's looking better now. I brought her in. Maybe it was just
Yeah.
the heat. Maybe it was just the heat.
You know, in the wintertime, whenever my wife asks me if the heat is on, I'll sing like my best Glenn Fry voice and say the heat is on. Yeah.
It's on the street.
Yeah, I would say that. It's, you know, those dad jokes, we all have them.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite Eagles song. What's your favorite Eagles song?
Hey, you want to go there?
Yeah, let's go there. What's your
Mine's
favorite
already
Eagles song?
gone.
Already gone? How
Yeah.
about you, knee scab?
Oh, Jesus. There's so many. The Eagles were really good, man.
Yeah. Mine is Saturday Night.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, off Desperado, wasn't
Off
it?
of Desperado. Saturday Night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
or actually Desperado reprise.
I
Yeah.
always liked Already
Only
Gone.
Stardust.
That's the
Yeah.
first song that Don Felder played on. He played the lead slide on that guitar, on that
Yeah.
track. And that was when I didn't like the Eagle songs before the fourth album, On the Border, with Already Gone. Like Desperado, I forgot the other ones, the Eagles and whatever that second was. I wouldn't have liked that. I started liking them right from On the Border. And then the next album was probably my favorite album, One of These Nights. I love that album.
Great album.
Great
That's
album.
Great.
a great mix of rock. But then,
Well,
you know, Joe Walsh comes in and kicks it up on the next album. So that's, you know, Hotel California. But it's so cliche to like Hotel California album.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
to
is.
like the
so
album
much.
is like, oh well, come on, can't you
Right.
use your imagination? You can't do any
Right.
better than that. Well, I thought that Desperado was the pinnacle of their of their I guess it would be their talent. I mean, it
Yeah.
really came out. It was amazing that they got together and did that album,
Well,
and it sounded like they had fun doing it.
yeah, well
That's what it was
that
all
was
about.
all the end of their country rock though.
Yeah.
Because
Then
what
Well, then they brought it back.
they did that
Yeah.
one song. I
Yeah, they did.
like the way your sparkling earrings lay against your skin
It's
so
called Take It
brown.
Easy.
Hey,
Take it
good
easy on that.
song.
Yeah.
Good song. Good
If
song.
I liked the guitar. See, I'm all guitar like I might like a song because of the lyrics, whatever. But with certain bands, it's the guitar. Now, I love Don Felder, and his solo in One of These Nights is fucking amazing. The song One of
Great.
These Nights,
Great.
it's
Great.
so amazing. And it's
Excellent.
funny with Don Felder because he didn't come on to the fourth album, but they made him a full member of the Eagles. And now, even though he got kicked out of the band, he still makes money for everything they do. He gets,
And I love their piano, and when they get
Yeah.
into the piano and shit, I love the piano with and the banjo. Oh my God. They're so good, man. I mean, they were so good. It was like they were the Beatles. They were really so together.
Yeah.
That's, that's what made them so good,
Well,
Yeah,
my favorite album from the 70s, and everybody's going to laugh, but it's not Rumors, but the one before, the Fleetwood Mac album.
the Fleetwood
Okay.
Mac album.
Lindsey
album.
Buckingham is so underrated. The way he plays, he can play the mandolin, he can play the banjo, he can play anything. And just because he
Rumors
doesn't
that
like
rumors was
rumors,
that
yeah.
that was the killer for them.
Well, there's great songs on there too, but if you listen to the Fleetwood Mac album,
Yeah.
it's great. It's great. You know,
Sentimental Lady is on there.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see. Oh gosh, what's that name of that one song?
Great album.
well,
Great album.
the biggest song on the Fleetwood Mac album was oh my God, not Go Your Own Way. The other one I can't think. Monday Morning, wasn't it?
Monday Morning. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but they had some great. But Lindsey Buckingham was so underrated as a musician, a human, and a writer, and everything. He is what made Fleetwood Mac a big name that everybody knew. Before that, they were just this little blues band. You know, with Mick Green or Pete Green, and
Oh,
Mick
and Bare
Fleetwood.
Trees was a good album. I thought Bare Trees was a great album.
Yeah,
Bare
good
Trees
album.
was a good album. And then the original Fleetwood Mac didn't have any female members.
They
If you
they
listen to
didn't
some
have.
of the old Fleetwood Mac was around in the early 60s
Well, you
when
know
they
what
first started.
what big song they wrote that somebody else did even bigger? They wrote Black Magic Woman.
Yeah, Black Magic Woman. Yeah,
Which was a big hit for Santana.
for
Santana.
But
Santana.
it's totally different if you look up the Black Magic Woman by Fleetwood Mac. It's more of a slow, slunky blues thing,
Yeah,
So
they were a blues band.
they were a
Totally
blues band,
blues.
definitely. And
Yeah, in the very beginning.
they
So
were.
if you listen,
If you listen to Fleetwood Mac for Dreams and Rhiannon and all this stuff, you'd be surprised at what they did in the mid to late '60s.
people don't even know because
Right.
I'll play an original Fleetwood Mac song from 1964,
Right.
and let's say who the fuck is that, and I'll say that's
Right.
Fleetwood Mac. No, it's
But
not. Yeah, it is pretty
I
much.
know.
Lindsey
They were
Buckingham and all them
definitely.
guys were together then.
They were, yeah.
Yeah,
And
they were all together. Mick
I
Fleetwood's fucking in his 80s.
yeah, he's
Really?
still out there too.
Yeah, he's still out there. They're still touring.
Yeah,
Wow.
but it took two people to replace Lindsey Buckingham when they threw him out. He was
Yeah.
the singer on all the big hits like Go Your Own Way and
Oh well,
I-
Lindsey got tired of the bullshit.
he did.
He got tired of the bullshit. He said, "I'm outie. I'm
Mhm.
out. Okay, we've done enough. Okay, well, we're gonna go make money. Okay, go ahead, because he's still
Who's
making money on it.
Oh, he's still making money. Fuck, he's still he they can never take his claim from
No.
being an owner of Fleetwood Mac. He can be fired just like a CEO can be, like Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook can be fired, but he still
he'll-
makes money.
He's still
He
making
don't
the
lose-
money.
Right. He just
You don't
is
lose
not
nothing.
control or whatever. So people don't get that in some cases. But well, I was going to ask, what was your one album or song or artist that you always thought sucked, but you really listened to them and it changed your mind?
Queen.
Queen, yeah,
Queen. Their Black and their White album, the first two albums they ever did.
sure.
I said, "Oh, you listen to Queen, that kind of thing." I was, and some of their stuff even went on AM back in that time. And then when they did the Black album, and then the White Queen album, man, it was nothing like fucking Queen then. I didn't have any idea that there was something, out of the ordinary. And I said, these guys are named Queen, huh? Or
Yeah.
another band was Thin Lizzy.
Then Lizzie,
Didn't-
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thin Lizzy didn't realize how fucking good they were.
Well, Thin
until
Lizzy
I listened.
was never shown to us. We heard Boys Are Back in Town and maybe Jailbreak.
Yeah, but then when you look at some of the stuff they've got,
Sure.
it's like, what the fuck,
They have a song called "Dancing in the Moonlight," something else. It's a bigger title, but it's such a great
Yeah.
song. And their version of "Whiskey in the Jar" is pretty cool too. And
Yeah, Whiskey in a Jar is good. They do a good job with a couple of other tunes.
Yeah.
I mean, I even like Jailbreak, other than
Yeah,
the fact that it was played a lot.
Mhm.
It's good stuff. So
No, it is good stuff.
how about you? What's a band that you listened to that didn't wake you up until you listened to their music? Their B-sides.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, for me it was Judas Priest. Oh,
Judas
hands
Priest.
down. I was such against Judas Priest because I didn't like their songs that were on MTV at the time, Another Thing Coming and all
Yeah,
this
you got
stuff. And I'm like,
thing coming.
it was so overplayed. But when I had a friend give me one of their albums, and I listened to the B-sides, it was British Steel, and I listened to the older tracks, and then he gave me Stained Class, which was even before that, and that's where I fell in love with them. I had to go back to the 70s, their 70s music, to appreciate their 80s music, if that makes sense,
Makes sense. That
and
makes sense.
then I was a big fan, a lifelong fan after that.
How about
And the only other
Go
band
ahead.
would have been Twisted Sister.
Twisted Sister?
I didn't want to. We are not going to take this shit.
Never been a fan. Never been a big fan of D. Snyder. Never been.
Yeah,
To me, he's just like
he's a dude.
I don't mind. I don't. He's so left wing. He's
Mm-hmm.
just so left wing. He's just like I'm not a big fan of D. Snyder.
No,
How about you?
but
How about you, Kneescap? What album did you listen to that changed your mind about a band? A band that you didn't like and you thought that, oh God, is that all they got? And then you listened to their album and listened to an album from them and you were surprised.
It was Zeppelin one, Zeppelin one, but
Zeppelin.
because I didn't really like them, and then I heard the album. See, but this is way back when in the day,
Yeah.
and
that's you. Yeah.
my brother bought the album, and then I put it on, and then I listened to it, and it was badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is a great album. I'm no doubt about it. That was when they were still pretty raw, and pretty
Right.
youthful in their approach to music, and
Yeah.
sometimes success makes you have to try to outdo everything you did before, which doesn't always come out that way,
But
And
another one was the Doors. I really,
yeah.
that they turned me on to their shit back in my day when I heard, and I'm going, well, Baby Light My Fire and shit.
Right.
And then, whoa, okay. And then I heard the album. I'm going, dude, that's even better than Light My Fire,
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Doors B-sides are much better than anything the radio ever played. I
Right.
mean, that's a band that I never really listened. I was the same way in a certain, like my mom would listen to like the greatest hits and stuff. And then I read a book called No One Here Gets Out Alive in like 87. And I like, oh my God, I fell like in love with Jim Morrison, the person and everything. So then I started buying their albums and listening to the whole thing and not just the hits. And I was completely hooked for like 10 years straight. I was like completely hooked. And it's, that's why I say don't, if it's on the radio, doesn't mean, that it's good, listen to that B
Oh
side.
yeah. When you're strange.
Okay. All right.
Listen to when
You're right. You're right. You're
yeah,
right.
strange. It's just such a great song when you're strange.
Right.
Faces look ugly when you're alone. I
Sure.
mean, motherfucker, how deep was this guy? I mean, how fucking deep was he to go that far down?
And
This
that's
is
why I
the
liked
end.
him.
Yeah, the end.
Fine open, my friend. I'll
I lost the
never
camera there,
back
Guido. Where'd you go?
again.
I'm here.
That shit was
Your
great.
camera's
The
down.
end. You ever heard the end? I mean, in a while.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
my
yeah.
camera wasn't down. I just blocked it off for a second. I
Oh,
needed a bit of. I had to do a man adjust.
Oh, you had to adjust your manly parts.
Yeah. So
That's okay. You could do that on camera, dude.
yeah,
We don't mind.
But
nah.
you heard us. You heard us.
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever
Yeah.
like? Did you have? I know I've known you to maybe one of you, but maybe both of you have done this. Do you ever like adjust yourself and then go? No.
Yeah, I've done that. I've
Yes,
done
you
that.
have. Yes, you
I've
have.
done that.
That's a lot.
It's not a
Oh,
lie.
who hasn't? I mean, seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
really. As long as you're not licking your fingers,
You
you're
got to
fine.
make sure that you don't need a shower.
Yeah, you know, you may be getting
You
a
know,
blowjob later. You never know, and you don't want her going down on you when you stink. I mean,
I used to carry a condom and a moist towelette in my wallet.
A
and a
guy
moist
wouldn't
towelette.
care.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
A
yeah.
guy wouldn't care if you
And when I
stunk.
got married, they were both still not used.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. And, you know, I told everybody on my show today that we really go off the rails sometimes.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
really went off the rail, dude.
Look,
We
you
go
know
from
what? You
talking
have
about
to.
music to talking about adjusting the manly adjustment. Okay, question. When your
And then
ball
sniff
sacks,
his
now
fingers.
a question for you. When your sack sticks to the side of your leg, does it not feel like fucking Velcro or what?
It does, but I kind of enjoy. I enjoy it sometimes.
My
Like,
wife says it's impossible. I said it happens all the time.
yeah, it happens all the time, all the time.
All the time.
It's I've you know I've learned how to, the tighter the underwear, the better on that. But if you're
Right?
free balling, the shit's sticking to your leg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're free ride, so you should probably free ball it.
Yeah, well, I boxer it. You know, I wear the boxers, so it rides free.
I
I mean,
can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, mine are like fucking cantaloupes, man. They'll be like, I got to wear the boxer briefs.
so you feel yourself getting racked if you don't wear something
Oh
tight or
man,
whatever. Fat.
yeah. I feel at the end of the day, my fucking thigh is bruised.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
They're that
Slap,
big,
slap,
huh?
slap. Oh Jesus,
Yes.
I'll just give you a little reference, okay?
Oh, just a
Here's a little,
little.
yeah. But no, for real. I mean, I can't do it. I can't go commando and all that. I don't know. I know guys do it and girls do it, but I feel very sticky. you know. And
All
right
right.
when you peel it off, it's like right off. Absolutely. It's like Velcro.
My old lady says I'm crazy.
I don't. I think you.
My old
She's
lady.
crazy.
Yeah, I said no. I said it happens quite a bit, man. It happens quite a bit. I mean, there's no getting around it. There
No, that
is no getting around it. It's going to happen, and it happens more often than not.
it does.
So
It
stick it in
does.
your hat, you know. So anyway, as far as next week, we have Tommy Gibbons on the show.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tommy
okay.
Gibbons is on the show, and he was with the band Tantric, and he's now doing some great music with one of the contestants from American Idol, believe it or not, who's a
Oh,
rock.
really?
Yeah. And we're gonna, I wish we could play some of their music because it's really, really good. And I'm gonna download that and put it into our rotation. Yeah, I'll
Well,
be doing
yeah,
that too this week.
that would be great. Well, if they're not published through anything, we can. It's all depends if they're published or
Maybe
not.
we can talk him into playing his guitar on the air.
Or that could work too.
Yeah, we get away with that.
Well, that sounds great. I remember talking to Tommy Gibbons a few years back. It was quite a couple of years back, actually, and
Yeah, it was about
it,
2 years ago.
it was a pretty interesting conversation. And I know you said Mike LaPon too coming up, right?
Yeah, we got Mike LaPon coming up on the 20th,
Yeah,
and
Mike
he
LaPon.
is
Yeah,
Silent Assassins and
and
Symphony X. He's
yes,
a
yeah,
Grammy award-winning artist. I mean,
yeah,
he's been nominated for Grammys, and
yeah.
he's a great guest. He
He
was on. Fuck, man, how long ago was that? It
four
was
or
when we
5 years
first
ago.
started conjugal visits four
Oh,
or
that was
5 years
almost
ago, right?
6 years ago then. No,
Almost 6 years ago.
four. It was 4 or 5. Yeah, because we
Yeah,
came from the other pod. We had that first podcast first that on that other network.
on the other network. Yeah, well, we won't discuss that. Won't bring that up.
Yeah, so
So,
it's been a while. It's been a while
all right.
since he's been with us, and he's a great guy. He's not just a good
Right.
interview. He's a fucking pretty cool, decent human being. And he's so humble of be given the opportunity to play in a Grammy nominated group. Because he was an
Yeah.
original member in Symphony X, but
No.
he came in a little bit later, and he's so humble that he got that opportunity, and that makes you feel good. He didn't get that prima donna, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm a
No.
rock
Mike
star.
LeBon is no prima donna.
Yeah,
That guy there is a rocker, and he knows his music inside and out. There's no
sure.
question about it.
And he's a
Okay. And then we
phenomenal bass player.
oh, excellent bass player. And then we have Vance Towns, who is member of Helltown Saints, and also doing some solo shit now. And he's in the studio now doing it. We're going to talk to him about his upcoming album.
Cool.
And he's also got some really killer music that we have in rotation already, Helltown Saints. So
Yeah.
full
I'm
month
telling,
coming up. The rest of
sure.
the month is going to be full. It's going to be
And
great.
I'm gonna pressure you every week to contact that guy to get Alice Cooper on our show.
Oh, I'd love to get Alice Cooper on our show. I would love that. That would be
We,
killer. Now, what do you think of that there, Showcase?
we got his agent's
Showdown?
number.
Yeah, we got the agent's phone number. Yeah,
We're
we're
not
not
worried.
worthy. We're not worthy. Yeah, we did that. He'd hang up. We don't want to do that.
But
Milwaukee.
it's a big. We don't know if it's a possibility. I mean, but we know we're in contact or going to be in contact with his agent and see how it works. But we're going to try to get some bigger name stars and we're going to try to do it like get bigger stars, smaller stars, middle stars, you know, not just the big ass celebrities, but get people out there trying to do the grind too and trying to be seen, you know.
Try to be seen. Yeah, we want
And
that. We want people to be seen. I'd like to bring later on in maybe this fall. I'd like to bring Conquest Metal in and do a
sure,
show with them. That'll be fun.
I
And
miss Rob.
yeah, I miss Rob a lot too. I wish we could bring him back. He was a great DJ. He
Oh,
really was. He was one of our best DJs.
Rob made me.
I didn't expect it. He put
Yeah.
on a show, dude. That man could play some music.
And not only that, he was witty and funny. He had, you know.
They do like a guitar song, like say on live and uncut.
Yeah, we can get away with that. That we can get away with.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to try and ask, the guys, hey, can you do a tune for us? Maybe do a ballad or something. Just play a song or something on your guitar. Do a solo.
Hey, Alice, can you do the Ballad of Dwight Fry?
Yeah, on your acoustic guitar. Sure, boys, I'll do that for you. That would be fucking killer. That would be just fucking phenomenal.
Yo, Vinny.
Yeah, hey, Vinny.
Vinny Boombots.
Boombots.
Yeah, that's funny that his name, is Vincent Furnier, whatever, and then his band was Alice Cooper, and then he was Alice Cooper. I mean, it's like he ripped it off from the other dudes. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's my name now.
Yeah,
I'm
and
Alice
good for
Cooper.
him, man.
Yeah, he made a shitload of money doing that. That's for sure.
He went through some tough times with alcoholism and
Yeah, drug abuse. Yeah, absolutely.
He did. Pretty bad spot.
Yeah, he was pretty. He was quite the user.
Now
of
I hear
alcohol.
he's a pretty big, great golfer.
He can play some golf.
Yeah.
He can play some golf. He played here in St. Louis with the guys from KC Radio, and they went out and they played some golf, and it was funny as hell. They had a blast with him. He's a lot of fun.
Sure, really I bet he is. Yeah. I bet he's also like very knowledgeable with. He's one of those guys that really loves 50s music. Like 50s music is his thing, and I'd love to pick his brain on what music from the 50s that sparked him to be Alice Cooper. That would be so sweet, man. I mean, we should do it. Is Bruce going to have a heart attack, though, if we do it?
What?
I'm going to call his new name Skinny Plant.
She's coming back now. I think it was just a hot day.
Look at over there. Look at Redhead. He just turned to a full redhead over there.
Yeah, I'm all red now.
You just turned, all for the world. Kids, don't try this at home.
Orange face. Well, this is pink face.
Yeah. Wow. Look at him. Wow. He's there, man. He's in that dimension.
Don't do it.
You are now in that space between space and time.
Funny as hell. Did we tell you the story about what happened, Guido?
Yes, you told me. Yes.
It's funny as hell. We're Skyping, me and knee scab there, and we're Skyping, and I go into a coughing fit, and then I stop suddenly, and my eyes got real big, and my head fell back, and my mouth was wide open.
Yeah.
He said over, Todd, you thought I was fucking around?
Uh, uh,
Todd. Then he started freaking out. He
uh,
thought for sure I was dead.
Yeah,
If I'm gonna
you,
die, dude,
you
that'd
got
be the
me
way
on
to
that.
go. Doing
You
doing
got
the
me on that one.
doing the show.
yeah. Yeah. Why not? You know, if you're
Yeah,
gonna do it on, just
live,
save that shit for live. Don't be doing it
live
just
on Skype. Yeah,
wasting that crap. You know.
let's die right here on the air.
Yeah.
Why
That
not? What the
gets
hell?
that shit
No way.
sells. I'll
That's
I'll,
right.
I'll send Mrs. Free Ride some cash. You know.
Yeah. All right. Well, she's gonna need it.
So is she a free rideette or what is she? You know, like
Is she a what?
a free rideette or what is her name?
A free ride Ed?
Like
Uh,
mine's Guidette. You know.
Guidette?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And Joette?
his is crazy plant killer.
Yeah, crazy plant killer.
Where? I
He
hate
must
You're
water
welcome.
plants.
I hate plant killers.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I got a
Yeah,
black thumb. I don't have a green thumb. I can't grow shit.
yeah. I try.
Never have.
I fail.
Yeah, I fail miserably.
I
I'd
I do
starve to
too.
death if I was a farmer. If I was a farmer, I'd starve to death. I
Yeah,
really
me
would.
too. I might be a better hunter gatherer than a farmer.
Yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
steal yours before I fucking
Yeah.
plant my own. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Why would I?
Let's just
Why would I grow
let's
my
just go
own?
to fucking shit stain's house. They all steal from there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to steal from knee scab. Yeah,
Oh,
just stealing your
scrotum
weed.
rocket.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, it's karma. That's what it is.
Karma,
Karma.
karma will come back and get them. Karma will
Uh,
get them, man.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
day they'll say, "Fuck, I should have never ripped that guy off," because
you'll
it's
be
coming
all right,
back up.
Swiss Army
Yeah,
knife.
Swiss Army knife.
You should
Yeah,
you should buy a
I get
dog.
upset
Buy
for
a
it.
dog.
I get upset for a little while, but then
Where'd you go?
it comes back. It's
Buy
all
a
right.
dog.
No, thanks.
That'll
Never.
keep them out.
I'll never own another dog.
Why not?
Never.
No, I
You
don't. I
won't ever own a dog, huh?
I don't like
Never.
pets either. I got already kids to feed. Why would I want to feed pets?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
they're a responsibility that I do not want ever again.
Oh no,
Ever again.
you got to go on vacation and shit, and you got to find
I
somebody to
mean,
watch the
I
dogs.
had my fun. I had
I
my
take the
fun
dog
with
with me.
dogs,
The dog
but then
goes with us.
they die, and then you got to cry for a little while and shit. And it sucks. You fall in love with them, you get attached, and then and then you lose them, and then but then you worked all that, you cleaned up their shit,
Oh, oh,
But
that's nice,
back in my
sweetheart.
day, though, we just let her run out and shit, anywhere,
Yeah,
and you don't have to pick that shit up. But nowadays, you got to pick that shit up,
yeah,
and
because
you
they
know,
get after you about that shit.
yeah,
Well,
Leave
fuck
shit. You
me,
can't
man.
do that. You
yeah,
gotta
it's
clean up
funny.
the shit.
And,
In San
and
Francisco, they'll find you for
you gotta
dog shit, but not human shit.
you
Yeah, you
gotta
can
feed
shit on the
it,
sidewalk,
you
but
gotta
they
house
won't.
it, you gotta
But you gotta
fuck
clean up after
that.
your dog. You gotta clean up
And
after your dog.
you gotta be home at a certain time, or she'll potty on the floor, or and you fucking it's really pain in the ass. But
Oh,
I
I
did it,
know, I know. Yeah,
you know.
trust me. With the puppy we've got now, and I told my wife, and here's another story about a wife who doesn't, listen. But anyway, I told my wife, I said, hey, you know, why don't we just adopt a dog that's already mature and older and already knows his shit, and he's not fucking like a fucking Tasmanian devil.
Right.
Well, I want to get a puppy, so she gets the puppy, and the dog goes out 5 times an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
When she's outside of her cage, she wants to go potty all the time.
Uh,
And she gets this aggravated look on her face. I said, you wanted a puppy? I don't want to hear it.
right.
Don't come crying to me. I don't want to know. This is your idea. I mean, I
Right.
still love the dog. I still wouldn't hurt the dog, but at the
Right.
same time,
Yeah,
is what are you all
you
pissed
gotta-
off about? You wanted the fucking puppy, not
you
me.
worked it, and you got attached. See,
Yeah.
and now if you get hit by a car, you got to cry again, and
Oh
if it
God, help
you
us.
know
I mean, I cried.
you
I
know
bawled my eyes out at the last one. I mean,
well
Yeah.
yeah
she was my
you know
everything. She's like one of my kids, for Christ's sake. And
yeah
we had to put
you
her
know
down. I mean, it's
I
a
just
shame.
go get another. I just go get another one.
I couldn't count how many dogs I've had, and it's, a lot of them have just lived outside. I've had dogs that just live outside, which is you know
Right.
Cruel and inhumane.
no, it's good, it's good.
Well,
Depends
yeah.
on what, yeah.
Maybe that's what you ought to get for your backyard is a dog. Get a
That's
fucking
what I
pit bull back
said.
there. That kid won't go back there ever again.
Yeah.
Treat him bad. Put a big old monster chain around his neck. Make him strong
Do
as
you,
an
do you
ox.
know? Do you know that's how we got on this conversation of me telling me she should get a dog?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you ought to get a dog.
Yeah. Are we on yet?
Oh,
Listen, I am not gonna own another damn dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, get a dog, man. Get a little
No,
puppy pit bull and put a gigantic chain around his neck and make him fucking just mean and ornery, starving.
I won't get another dog. No dog.
Hey, it's your lookalike.
I can't
It's your
get
look at look at
dog.
Guido's screen. It's your lookalike.
I'll never own another dog.
Yeah, I'll never own another dog as long as I live.
Yeah, that's
Never,
you, ski naps.
Too rich. Too fucking such.
Yeah.
never own another dog.
Never
Never.
gonna own another dog.
Oh, I've entered my library now. By the way, I have books.
You're in your library now. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably never read any of them, but they're there. That's
Right.
another thing people used to do. I swear to God, before the internet was whatever, and you had books and newspapers. Why would you collect all these books?
An ornery motherfucker.
Hold
I
on.
could go.
Hold. One at a time. One at a time. Go ahead, Guido.
Why, back in the day, why would people buy books and then keep them? You fucking read it. Why do you have to put it on a shelf for everybody else to see?
Well, it's recognition that you read.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Or
you
maybe
read a
those
book.
books are just there and you didn't fucking read anything because you want to be.
Well, so I'm sure there are some of those people that are like that. Yeah.
Well, no, sometimes you'd have to go back and re-reference to what you read. You might have to forget and go back to it and go, "Hey, what happened there? What happened?"
Okay, for that reason, I understand. There is some books that I kept because I maybe didn't take
the
enough time to
dictionary.
read it, or whatever.
And the encyclopedia for another. I mean,
What
who's
is
ever-
the weirdest? Let me ask you. What is the weirdest book you ever read?
weirdest?
Yeah, the
As far as
strangest
what?
book that you would never imagine you would have read.
I don't know because I read mostly, like biography type stuff and that.
Right.
But I'm trying to think. That's the good question. I would think the one that that like baffled my mind or made me love it was Thinner. It was back in the day. I thought it was by a guy named Richard Bachman, but it turned out to be it was by Stephen King. And I think I wouldn't have bought the book if it was Stephen King because he was so saturated in the market that I didn't care. But that it didn't say his name on there, so I bought the book and really loved it. And then I found out it was Stephen King, and I was like, why did I like that? Like
he is a sick individual.
right, yeah, and it was
He's
it
like
was a
Andy
good,
Warhol and Quaaludes.
sure.
Yeah.
But I mostly read biographies and like real things like about the Cold War or about this or that because sometimes made up things just don't make sense to me. Like fairy tales or whatever. I don't know.
Read, and I think I read about 8 or 9 chapters of Mein Kampf.
Right.
And it was striking. Just how fucking fucked up in the head this guy was.
Oh, sure. But I will tell you, though, that there's movies that I've seen and then read the book and was disappointed. Like wow, the book was so much better. Like The Godfather, The Exorcist by the book The
The
Exorcist.
book was much better.
Yeah, and even the Godfather book was much better than the movies. And I think that you should actually maybe sometimes read the book of your favorite movie if there is one. Because back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even 80s, movies were based upon books that were written.
I read one time. I read the Cider House Rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's what you got to do sometimes. Like, if you read the book tells you more than the movie can.
Yeah, but it was kind of strange book. It was different than the movie.
Right.
And the movie I think was better than the book.
See, every book that I've read based upon a movie, I've never thought that, and I've always thought the book was better.
I read that book word for word, and I'll never forget how the parts that were different than the movie, and there was plenty of them, and some strange.
Hollywood just takes a movie and rips it apart, the book, and rips it apart.
Right. I
Right.
read the book Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore,
Uh-huh.
and then watched the movie, and the movie doesn't even come close to what those two girls went through. They were raped. They were kept in a closet and shit in the book, but in the movie they didn't show that.
Well, you could be more graphic in the book. Like I read The Manson Family, and that's so much more graphic than any Charles Manson movie ever made about him or whatever.
Right.
It really tells the true story, uncut, whatever. Because for some reason, the words have never been, like in a book. You never had to worry about censorship, But on the screen, that was a different story. You had to kind of censor it, bring it back, not make it as graphic, not make it as gory. In the book, your mindset is the movie. So if you have an active mind, it can be whatever you want, So books were never censored to that point. So the books always got more than the movie. Always, if you read the Michael Crichton books, there's so much more in there than there is on the screen, like Jurassic Park and whatever. There's so much more in the book, and it's a good thing to read too, because you don't become an uneducated buffoon if you read.
Right.
You can read anything.
Well, I'm sure there's a couple of movies that were actually better than the book. The movie The Lottery.
Yeah.
It's about a town where how they control the population. They stone people to death.
Oh wow!
When they reach a certain age, they put their name, their number gets put into a lottery, and they pull the lottery, and you're next. You're next, and it's really weird movie. And we did a book report on the book, and then they showed us the movie in school, and it was a black and white movie. It was black and white, and it was weird. If you ever get a chance, check out The Lottery. Really a fucking weird movie.
Did that movie in school have like words and shit, or was it like a silent movie?
No, it was words and shit. I had graduated
I just saw how
school
old you
then.
are. So,
they had talkies.
They had talkies then? Okay.
They had talkie movies.
I remember being a kid and asking my mom when she said she liked the Rolling Stones back, when she was a kid, and I'm like, oh my God, you're that old or something like that, or did they have, because, I was born in the 70s.
Jurassic Rock.
Yeah, Jurassic Rock. But I grew up on that stuff. I never knew that it wasn't new music, because I was always on in my house. So to me, it was current music. You know what I mean?
Right.
I never knew it was classic rock until maybe I went to school or, whatever. No, actually, when I got a job is when, 16, the older guys at work or whatever, oh, that's old music or whatever. You know what I mean? It was like you get a culture shock when you get your first job, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
More than that.
Culture shock.
Yeah.
My first job was a culture shock. I hated it.
Did you? Yeah.
I couldn't stay. Yeah. I worked at a burger chef, and it was a nightmare. It was.
That's funny. My first job,
Burger King. You take a plastic card and scrape the grease off your face from working the fryer and shit. You just, and the zits were all over your. Oh, it's disgusting. Worst job I said I'll never do this again ever, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Only time I had to do it again was when I was in the Navy and I had to pull mess duty. I had to
Yeah.
pull mess duty. It
Well,
sucked.
here in New York, those fast food workers make like $17 an hour.
Yeah, well, they make 15 here,
Yeah,
and they're giving sign-on bonuses at fucking Hardee's.
that's
Hardee's are
great.
going to give you $1,000 if you stay for 90 days. They give you an extra $1,000.
Wow. I'm gonna go work at Hardee's. Fuck my
Yeah,
job. Oh,
yeah, fuck
uh,
yeah, fucking flipping burgers all fucking day.
I'll
I
do.
tell you what, where's my raise? Where's my
Yeah.
raise? Okay,
Where's
so now
everybody? Everybody
I'm
should get.
making, I'm making right now. I'm making 21.50 an hour. Well, shouldn't I get a $7 bump to $28 an hour to put me back in my class where I belong?
Right. Yeah, that's what happens. Is they bring when they bring the minimum wage up that high, that class above them, like you, that spent a little more money and whatever, can't anymore because
Right.
everything else is going up now.
Well, if you don't
Now,
like it, go to work at McDonald's.
right
We're not
now
going to
that
give you a raise.
burger that you pay, but here's the thing: McDonald's goes up to $15 an hour. Now that $3 burger that you get is now going to be $6.
Yeah, the meal is going to go from 540 or 580 or whatever the hell, 599. Now it's 829 for that same fucking number
Right.
one fucking Big Mac and French fries.
So
It's
you
gone up
never,
$3.
nobody ever gets farther in life because eventually it's going to all catch up. So you're going to be poor again because now the inflation's going
Now,
to go up.
it's never enough.
No,
It's never, and not only that, the idea of raising them up to a $15 an hour wage is raising them up to a new tax bracket. So
sure.
now they're going to get less back than they did when they
Yeah.
were making
And,
$8 an hour.
and here's
They
another
were
thing.
getting it all
Yeah.
back plus
Sure.
$1,000. They were
Right.
getting it all back. If they had kids, they were getting an extra what, $800 a kid, $1,600.
Yeah.
Well, now
But
that comes down because you're making more money
well, and here's another thing that people
for
say,
the
oh,
fucking themselves.
back in the 60s they made $1.30 an hour. Yeah, but fucking a cup of coffee was like 4 cents.
Yeah,
You know,
you can get a
it
cup
wasn't
of coffee for a fucking nickel. You
right.
can get a shave and a haircut for 2 bits.
Sure.
How much
And
was your rent back then too?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
what, $25 a month?
The only
$30.
reason you pay more rent now is because how many times that you wanted a raise and you got it, the minimum wage.
Every
You
time,
know,
yeah, minimum wage.
Yeah.
You
so
raise
every
minimum,
time minimum wage goes up, all the
cost of
things
living
that you
follows
buy
it
goes up.
Everything else
freaking time.
follows.
No,
Every freaking time. They're
Yeah.
screwing themselves. They're
they
screwing
do. It's a
Yeah.
themselves.
never-ending
They
cycle.
will be poor again. But now,
Yes.
now that's eaten into the middle class, and now they'll be
Yes.
poor middle class now.
Sure.
There'll be
That's
more
what
poor
they
middle
don't
class.
want. They want 2 classes.
Poor
The
and
poor
rich. That's all they
and
want.
Yep, that's it.
We can't.
And this is the first step to becoming that because, like you said, I'm not
We
saying
could.
and here's the thing. I'm not saying nobody deserves to be paid. Everybody deserves to be paid, okay? But now the fast food jobs were always for the kids and always for, the people starting their job duties. Now, if you start giving them $15, $16, $17 an hour, why would they go to college?
Yeah.
Why?
What's the need to go to
Why?
college? Or
The
if
guy
you're
that-
going to pay,
$15 an hour soon won't mean $15
No,
an
it
hour.
won't,
No.
but right now it does. Okay, at this
Right.
moment it does.
at this
So
moment,
why
it
would I
does.
go to college? If I just graduate high school and I'm making $15 an hour at McDonald's and my dad, who went to, a 2-year community college, is only making $20 an hour, why would I fucking spend that 2 years to make $4 more?
Yeah. What's
You
the
know, I
incentive?
mean,
What's the
right.
incentive? What's my
There is none.
incentive?
Right.
There is no incentive. And they're
So-
raising their
That's another thing.
and a guy at work tells me, "Oh, you're just selfish." I said, "I'm not selfish.
Right.
I want what I got coming. I mean, they got theirs. What's
Right.
wrong with
Right.
mine? Where's
Well,
mine?"
And that's the thing too. Already the gas is going up. Okay.
She worked back in the day for $5, $6 an hour.
Right. Yeah. If you made back in like the 60s, if you were making $10 an hour, you were doing damn good.
Yeah,
and
12,
and
12,
yeah,
12, you were doing
12,
good.
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
12, yeah.
Now you got to be making
Well,
$27, $28 an hour, $30 an hour to be that same as that $12 in the 60s.
Right. But my dad made $8 an hour. and we were paying $250 a month on a mortgage.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Right.
And that was, back in the 60s. And
my daughter just went to look at a 2-bedroom apartment today, or 3-bedroom, excuse me, 3 bedrooms, $1,000.
$1,000. Yep.
Yes, $1,000. And that's the thing. That's the thing that people are forgetting. Now rent's going to go up even more. Food cost is going to go up even more. Clothing's going to go up even more because every company that pays these wages now have to make it back.
And the loans that
the
landowners continually take out loans on their property,
right,
to maintain the property and to put money in their pocket to pay the bills and all that shit, and then your rent's going to go up.
Sure, yeah,
your rent's going to go up. Everything's going to go up.
Everything.
Fuel costs go up. Lumber is way up. They're not building houses. Right. They're not building. You won't be able to get a house for under $350,000 ever again. A new house. They'll all be with the new low price of $318,000. That's a bargain.
Out here, it's $1 million.
Yeah, it's $1 million.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy. Real estate right now is so crazy. I'm like, I should sell my house. It's so crazy. Then I'm thinking about it, but I got to buy another one. So where am I going to be? What do I say? I'm going to be in the same boat I was.
The $15 an hour makes your $24 an hour now go up to $29 an hour, doesn't it? Shouldn't it?
Yeah.
It should, but it's not.
If 7.25 is the federal minimum wage.
Right.
Okay. So now they're going to take it to $15 an hour. So it doubled. It doubled. Yeah. So where's my $7.50 an hour?
Right.
Why aren't I making $29 an hour now? I need to.
Right.
My gas prices went up. I want to buy another fucking truck. I can't buy a truck now. They're fucking $40,000.
Right. Yeah. Right. The price of everything is going to go up, but you're going to stay the same.
It already is going up.
They got it leveled out for our age. Our age has really pretty much been basically screwed throughout our lives.
Yeah.
On all of this. Okay. All of it.
Yeah, well, the thing of it is too.
And the stick every fucking time.
I think that the what do you call it? The minimum wage jobs are the reason they're minimum wage jobs is because you need no skill whatsoever to do them. Okay, all right, and I always a firm believer.
In my day, we had truck driver minimum wage. Jesus Christ. You're driving a fucking 15 speed, and with a load.
But people didn't complain then. They took what they could get.
Right.
And they soldiered through it.
They gave me a raise, 10 cents.
Yeah, but they soldiered through it. They found ways to make it. They, it's like, give me now.
There was a time where everybody was working 2 jobs.
Sure.
There was a time when people, just to get by, they were working that extra job. They were doing a security job, or they were doing this, or they were doing that, or working at a concert venue, or working at a nightclub. You do your full-time job, and then at part-time, you go make $100 a night
on your days off.
Under the table on your day off, or the night of. I worked at a furniture store, 40 hours a week. But then I also worked at the bar 28 hours a week, making $100 a night to fucking watch the door. That's the kind of money I was needing to make. And I did it. I did it. I got ahead. I busted my ass, but I made it. I survived. But now I don't have to do that. But now I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to do it again. Nah, I'm retiring. Fuck it.
All these minimum wage raises and all this is going to cause everything else to go up. And what they need to fix, instead of raising the minimum wage, is lower the appraisal on properties and housing. You got to lower that. That'll bring the minimum wage to where it's supposed to be, which is, less than $15 an hour, but you'll be able to pay your goddamn rent and food and everything else should stay the same. But the appraisal.
There was a long time where you would divide your money into thirds. A third of it went to your rent, a third of it went to food, and a third of it went to utilities. You know, and the
Yes.
only way that you could,
It's all
the only way that
because
you
of
could do
their
that is to work two
appraisal on
jobs.
property and housing. It's their anticipation of what it's a fictitious price. It's $1 million for a piece of shit crap house, but that's what we fictitiously think in our minds it's worth, which is
That's what it'll
bullshit.
sell. That's what they think it'll sell for.
Yeah, but
Well,
there's a lot of
I know
factors
it.
that go into that. I mean,
I know it.
the property owners, you know, if new houses are not being built, like Free Ride said,
That's getting less and less because the population is growing, and they're getting scared. So they put a virus on us.
yeah,
Well,
but the property
go
is
ahead.
all worth, you know, where it's at, the location. You know, houses in Sacramento are more money than houses in, you know, Gardenia, California, right? You know,
Yeah,
Right.
uh,
Dad, it's
it,
what
it,
they think it'll sell for.
sure,
Well,
and it's a
Gonzo makes a
business.
Gonzo makes a great point. He says where
Right.
he works, they're offering welders starting at $26 an hour since they
Right.
can't get anybody to come back to work. Okay, but now everybody wants a raise. That means
Right.
they're paying their new workers more than they're paying their fucking veteran workers, the people that have been there for a while. That's
That
fucked up.
that's happening in the hospitals and nursing homes here in New York, that the newer nurses and shit are getting paid almost what the older nurses are getting paid. So these nurses
See?
that have been there 10, 15 years are going
That's
to
the
get paid
beginning
the
of
same.
communism right there. Everybody makes the same.
Sure. Yep. Same job,
Every,
same pay. Yep, absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
But you know, like, if it doesn't should it matter that you were there for
a
25
lesser,
years? Yeah.
a
It
It's
should.
just
lesser
loyal.
job,
Yeah, it should.
more same pay, a lesser job, lesser person needed, like a real nurse. And this guy's a, a throw up cleanup guy, but he makes as much as that registered nurse.
Right.
That's
Everybody's
true.
going to make the same, you know.
Wow.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Oh, under a communist or socialism, socialistic, whatever the word is, society, yes, you
Yeah.
get paid no matter what you do. If you're the fucking burger flipper at McDonald's or you're a brain surgeon,
Right,
you
Right.
get the same pay.
right.
Right.
Everything, that's where it's coming to, huh? And the housing's going to remain the same and keep going up and up and up and out of reach. And then there's going to be a lot of homeless
There
people
already
on the
is.
streets.
There already
And
is a lot
Yeah,
of
but you
homeless
know,
out
but
there.
then it changes. I remember a time when I bought this house, the market was so down that I got this house for $20,000 less than it was listed for.
Right.
So that was 20 years ago. So it does change at times to be real low. It's almost like, oh my God, what did I do buying this property? But right now, you're the king if you got property right now.
Right.
You know,
Right.
in this
Exactly.
current
Yeah.
situation. But I got,
Well,
like I said,
yeah.
my house
With
for $20,000 cheaper because nobody would buy it. There was no buyers. Right
Right.
now, like you said, the population's growing. There's more buyers, so it's supply and demand. When there's not enough buyers, the fucking houses go down to entice them. Now, like everybody's buying, everybody's kids are moving out and starting their own family, and they know that. So
Right.
you want this house, you're going to pay for it. You know,
That's right.
it's all capitalism, all about money. Economics is what rules the world. It
That's
does.
it.
It
It's
rules
all
the
about
world.
money, man. It's all
Yeah.
about
and
the money.
that's
And the
the
sooner we
recipe.
realize it, the
Oh,
sooner
yes.
we realize it, we're going to get rid of the corrupt government that we have, because that's
And
what makes
that's
our
what
government work is money.
Yeah.
the cost of the living in a house and property is what's causing the minimum wage to go up.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Well,
We can't
everything's a
afford to pay
trickle
the rent.
effect. Everything's a trickle down effect, a trickle up effect, whatever. It's a trickle effect. You change one thing, other things have to change now.
Correct.
You
Well,
know.
listen, hey, I hate to interrupt, man. This is a great conversation, but we're
Right.
out of time. We
Oh,
got 1 minute left.
wow.
So thank you. Oh man, that was a great conversation. That was awesome.
I
Yeah.
know.
Rob
Well,
fucking
we didn't accomplish anything. We didn't get nothing solved, but we talked about it.
no, we found out the cause of things. I mean, ain't
It'll
nothing
get
wrong with the
resolved.
cause.
We got the
It'll get
root
resolved.
down.
It'll get lost in the next bowl.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, we've been this one to death. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Remember, you can catch the video version of this over on YouTube starting tonight, and you get it right there on our front page at
Right there on the
www.kgfrock.com.
front of the page.
Right there on the front page of the website. Go there, check it out, and make sure you subscribe to kgfrocks.com on YouTube. Okay. All right. Well, we've been much to death. Guido,
C'est la
showdown.
vie.
Say la
Yo.
vie. We'll talk to you here shortly,
Adios.
Portly. Thanks again. You guys have a great night. Good night.
Good night.
Thing's still burning.
What?
No, it's not burning. All right, I'm switching back.
All right.
Switching back. Are we
Jimmy,
off
man.
now? Are we on now?
I don't know.
Well, we had a lot of talks tonight.
Yeah, we've talked about all kinds of stuff.